Good morning, Monday. What are you doing? I'm coming in with a very unpopular topic. If you can't relate to it, or maybe you can relate to it in a predatory way, and that is rape. In the news today, I can see that Harvey Weinstein, a huge movie producer, has been convicted of the two lesser accounts of rape that he was accused of. And Harvey Weinstein is kind of at the bottom of the pit for this Me Too movement that has really started to streamline and change things for women all over the world. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people probably got annoyed about the Me Too thing because so many women could relate to it. And if that was annoying to you, shut up about it, okay? Because obviously you can't relate in a way that so many other women can. And I recently got in trouble for saying a couple things about Kobe Bryant passing away. And I know people were very sensitive about that. But he had been associated with a rape accusation prior. And yes, he was never convicted of that, but it was settled out of court. And when you have a lot of money and power, you can do things like that. All right, everyone has their own version of this, and I'm not trying to get into that. But what I wanted to come in today was to put a finger in the excuse of how come women don't report this sooner? And as someone who has been assaulted in my past, I will let you know that it took me about 10 years to even figure out that that's what had happened to me, okay? And I'm not going to come back and try and find this person to say anything about it. Because the truth of the matter is, my character could be totally slandered. And as I said, it took me 10 years to figure out that this was actually a rape situation. I was possibly drugged and I was taken advantage of. I won't give you all the crummy details, but I will tell you that I was in college. I had been left behind at a bar with my friends, which happens sometimes. It's not my friend's fault for leaving me there. It's not my fault for being a little bit drunk because I'm at a bar and everyone is there doing that. I met an older man, a nice man, who said he would help me get home. And at the time, I thought, wow, that would be really great. And we were having fun because at the time, I thought he was a nice man. And so we might have made out a little bit. And when we went to go home, he said, oh, I got to stop by my house first. Well, I don't know what to do. I'm just, along for the ride because I think this guy's going to give me a ride home. Well, he wants me to come inside with him. We come inside. We start talking, and I open up that I'm really sad because, my boyfriend and I had broken up at the time. And before I know it, I'm passed out. I wake up, and he's on top of me. And it was all very blurry. And when I went to leave in the morning, I felt really yucky about it. But my head was telling me, this is your fault. This is your fault because you weren't paying more attention, And as we're driving home, he said, do you regret what happened last night? And I was trying to be in charge of myself. And I was like, no, I don't regret it. I just wish that we had used a condom. And had I been more alert and maybe conscious, then I probably would have said no, because I happened to be on my period at the time, which means that the man removed my tampon from my body. And when I told him I had it in there, he said, no, don't worry, I took it out. Well, those words have haunted me since that happened. And it took me a really long time to figure out that that was so wrong and disgusting. And I didn't tell a lot of people about it because it was embarrassing, okay? But here I am now telling you guys about it because it was disgusting. And if I could find that man now, I would slap him across the face and I would probably try and warn everyone to stay away from him. Not only was what he did predatory to me, but he was probably fishing in the bar for young drunk girls. And he was an older man, okay? And so that to me is just disgusting and very clearly a predatory thing, all right? So when someone that's older or smarter or has more money or more power can take advantage of someone like that, there's also a mental abuse element that goes along with that. And victims are picked because they're not going to be believed, okay? That's exactly what this predatory mindset is looking for, okay? So, if you're someone watching and you have taken advantage of someone like that and you've brushed it off, like maybe you didn't do that, maybe you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself if you abused your power or your situation, or took advantage of someone that wasn't in a good position to say no or wouldn't have been believed. And if you're a woman and you've been struggling with the burden of wondering if it was your fault, it was not your fault. If you were a child, if you were looking for a job, if you were trying to get some attention, it was not your fault. It doesn't matter what you were wearing. It doesn't matter where you were. It doesn't matter if you kissed earlier, because kissing earlier in the night does not relate to sex later in the night, okay? I'm really glad that Harvey Weinstein was convicted for those 2 crimes, and I wish that I hadn't read the article that talked about the way his lawyer had to dig in and try and discredit these women, because it makes me sick to my stomach that another female could get in there and try and perpetuate that. So here's to a little justice today for anyone who's been victimized. Good. Thank you very much. And I hope that we continue to take these allegations seriously, because this is a complicated matter, okay? Rape isn't just having a gun to your head and being forced into a sexual act. It is so much more than that. And if you know you have more control over a situation, that's when you be the protector. You don't be the predator. Sorry about this intense thing. It just, reading that brought up some things for me, and I just wanted to share my story. And when I talked about the dad hashtag, girl dad, and I'm not trying to damn Kobe, okay, because I don't really know what happened, and he was a superstar that people did appreciate, whatever. The reason that so many women got upset about that is because victims saw another person kind of get away with something, and when he passed away, that brought up a lot of trauma for victims. And to tell those people to quiet down because everyone else is mourning is very insensitive. And I don't like that someone that's a celebrity gets to not be remembered for everything that they did. I have to go through all of my old heroes that I once also loved, and I have to look at them through a new light. Bill Cosby. I love The Cosby Show. Michael Jackson, all of these heroes that we've had. R. Kelly. We can't just forget the things that they did because they're rich and famous. These people need to be held more accountable. Our children are looking up to these people. Just get your head on straight, people, okay? Some of these heroes have to just be put in their place. Okay, this is what intense, I know. All right, bye.